Good day, and I love you. Welcome to the Daily Dose, your daily dose of well-being for October 18th, 2018. I'm Heather Peterson Lockhart. I'm the Chieftess. Today we're talking about boundaries. Yeah. Talking about boundaries because, you know what? When you're working on a new fitness and nutrition plan, when you're working on anything really, when you're trying to transition into new behavior, when you've decided what's no longer working is going to change, well, sometimes the people around you aren't really ready for that, right? And you're met with some opposition because you've decided that, hey, the way we were talking yesterday is no longer conducive to my growth today. And the places I was hanging out yesterday are no longer fostering this beautiful, loving creativity inside me. And the way that I've been viewing this situation and my understandings of myself, well, they are not cultivating the best manifestation of my gifts. So, I gotta change my ways. I gotta change who I'm hanging out with. I gotta change the way we're talking about things. I gotta change what I'm participating in. And yeah, that's what's up, right? And it would be wonderful if those around us were like, yay for you, I'm so happy. I know that might mean that this affects our relationship and it's quite possible that we'll never hang out ever again, but I'm really happy for your growth and I love you. Never, ever heard that. Nor have I ever heard any of my clients tell me that that's been the case when they have decided to change their behavior. In fact, quite the contrary. We usually hear things like, oh, what, do you think you're too good for this now? Or, oh, what, did I offend you? Stuff like that, right? Or, you know what, who do you think you are? All these kinds of things. And it is hard to be in that in-between state where what was okay yesterday, we've decided is no longer okay today. And the behavior we were operating in, or the relationships, or maybe the people we were hanging out with are no longer going to work, right? But we're not quite in the new places with the new people and the new ways of thinking and the new ways of operating yet. So we're in this in-between state. And it's terribly challenging. And we're terribly raw and terribly vulnerable in it. So it is extremely useful to set some boundaries so that we can start deciding who we are and how we're going to behave and how we're going to teach others to treat us, because we do teach others how to treat us. So I'm going to use a real-time scenario. We have a friend, one of my student teachers, that's what I call my clients, because every human is a student and a teacher in every single exchange. So one of my student teachers is massively transitioning her life. I mean, like, we're talking full overhaul of thoughts of self, manifesting career and business, speaking up for herself, presenting herself different in relationships. And, you know, if we chose a partner while we were either active in a disease or active in a way of thinking, then we chose a partner who was compliant with that way of existing, right? Chances are that partner comes from a family where these ways of existing have been taught there and are practiced there as well, right? It's just the way it works. Birds of a feather flock together, right? So here we have a person who's deciding that the way that we've been doing things is no longer going to work for me, and yet they're seated in an environment with their family where this is the way we do things, and this is the way it's always been. And who are you to say different? Right? And so if you have ever seen a child, I had my son, he's the perfect example. When my son was little, he loved going out in costumes. He loved going out in disguises. And it's almost like he just needed this extra little barrier, this extra little buffer to try on his new behavior and to have this bit of a shield where he had the freedom to try out new behavior as him with help. You know what I mean? Like, it was him, but not all him. It was him dressed as Iron Man, or him dressed as a pirate, you know? And it's brilliant. It's truly brilliant, because he was terribly, terribly shy. But that's one of the ways that he would take part in new scenarios and in new environments. He would go in a costume. And so I remember watching it thinking that was so brilliant, because it was enough of a barrier, of a protection, of a bubble, of a buffer for him to still do what he wanted to do, but to feel safe. So today I'm going to teach you how to create your own boundary bug. So the next time you go to a scenario, or you have to participate in a relationship or a dynamic where you have to create some new boundaries, and it might be a little bit challenging for you, I'm going to give you a beautiful tool that you can take with you. So for this exercise, you will need a mask. You can have it whatever kind of mask, and you'll need a magic wand. Now, I have chosen to use my great big handy-dandy lollipop. You can use whatever you like. Of course, there's no right or wrong to create your boundary bug. So, we're going to create a boundary bug. I'm going to close my eyes and summon my own inner boundary bug. My boundary bug's name is Bisch. Boundary Bisch. Just a moment, please. And here I am. Now, we're going to go in real time here. Our friend Marianne, well, let's say she arrives to the party. She arrives to the family party with her mask up like this. And her brother-in-law, who likes to talk smack, he's like, "Nice ass, Mare. You look really good." Now, before, Mare would have said, "Hey, thanks," because she really wouldn't have known what to say. But the truth is, that's really invasive and really not okay with her. And she's decided it's not okay. Yep. So, instead of going, "Thanks," and feeling like you have to mow over yourself and deal in this behavior, but it's an aversion to your soul, you can throw on your mask. And a beautiful boundary bug process, 4-part process, we're going to capture that. We're going to throw a boundary around it. We're going to bless it and buzz off. So we look at the brother-in-law, we throw on the mask, take your wand, which might be your beautiful finger, throw a boundary around it, say, "I love you," and buzz off. Meanwhile, brother-in-law is going, "What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with her?" Bzzz. "I'm practicing my boundaries. I love you." And buzz yourself right out the room. Yes, I'm serious. Right out the room, I tell you. You see, by capturing the comment, we capture it. We capture it. We're not going to let it come inside and resonate and take up space. We're not going to let it grow and create a reaction within, creating subsequent toxicity and poison. No! We're going to capture it. Throw a boundary around it. Bless it. I love you. And buzz off. And be done. It's just that simple. Yes. Yes, I tell you. So get yourself a wand. Get yourself a mask. And invent your own bug today. You can come up with your own name. I like Bisch, Boundary Bisch. And I can call myself this. And you know what? When people look at me like, "She's crazy," I'm like, I am. And they're no better or worse for it, and I'm all the better. Ha ha. Of course, maybe they giggle. I don't know. Card for the day is, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. I love you.